he's jumped. He's even going to fall. Oh my God! Look at Danny Hook. He is an absolute legend. He's going to smash that time. Zach by Spandona. Here he comes. Come on, Danny. Oh my God.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm a road cycling, triathlete, gravel pro, extreme triathlon wannabe, and this weekend I'm taking on Xterra UK. This is my weapon of choice that I've quite literally just dug out of a garage. I'm going to talk you through it, what spec it is and so on, but first of all I am going to show it a little bit of love, so let's get it clean. Okay, so slightly cleaner than it was before. Let me talk about the why, then I'll talk to you about the what. So why? I've entered Xterra UK, it's my first off-road triathlon, and in honesty, when I entered it, I thought I could use my gravel bike. I've recently delved into the off-road cycling scene through gravel. Apparently you can't, you have to ride a mountain bike, so luckily I do have one. I've just dug it out of the garage and washed it, and this is what I'll be riding. So not ideal, but I'll make the best of it. Now this is my Form Kerber 2, I think it is. I actually bought this bike just to do like long run support for my partner, and she has one as well. So one of us is running, the other one's on a mountain bike. You can ride on trails, you can ride on the road. They're easy to ride, low gearing for riding at running pace, passing bottles, those sorts of things. I did not buy this with racing in mind, but here we are. So it's a Form Kerber 2, aluminium frame. It's a hard tail, which means there's no suspension at the back, but there is suspension at the front. I'm learning mountain bike words as I go. I don't know how much travel there is, but quite a lot. Wheels and tyres, if you like those, it's got some. I don't know what the wheels are, but they are black and round. The tyres are fairly chunky. I think they're 2.25 inches and fairly chunky. It's going to be off-road, it's probably going to be wet, so these will be fine, I'm sure. They are set up clincher, so I'll probably run about 40 psi just to sort of evade those pinch flats. Group set, it's also got one of those as well. It is an 8-speed group set. I am supported by NRG chains, but I don't believe that they stock 8-speed chains, so I won't be bothering them for a wax chain for this event, but I will be using some wax lube, and that's probably the only race specific equipment I'm going to be using on this. The gearing's really low, it's really short, so I can't see me needing the inner ring at the front. If you go in slower than first gear at the back and the big ring on the front, you might as well be walking, so I'm sure that'll be absolutely fine. The braking system, hydraulic discs, a big upgrade from cable discs. These work really well actually. 160mm rotors, and they're only single pot calipers front and rear. I see a lot of mountain bikes that have like dual pot calipers or 4-pot calipers. These feel absolutely fine, that is absolutely enough. Maybe if I was a more technically capable rider, I'd need some more braking power, but I don't. These are absolutely fine. Rapid 5 shifters on the handlebars for me to fist that when I'm going up and down bumps and change gears accidentally. No dropper post. I'm not going to run clip-in pedals either. I just think that because the terrain's going to be quite rough and technical, and I'm not that skilled a rider, me being able to put a foot down at a moment's notice is much better for me than being clipped in and having a bit better power transfer. So I'll keep the flat pedals on. I'm going to use some like trail running shoes because the run part is a trail run. They're quite firm underneath and quite chunky, so I think they'll be actually okay on these flat pedals, and if they're not going to be okay, then well, there's nothing I can do about it. In terms of weight, I haven't weighed it. I don't really want to weigh it. I'd estimate maybe 12-13 kilos. This is not a high-spec bike, so I'd imagine it is fairly heavy, but for the intended purpose, I think it's a 17-kilometer off-road cycle. I don't think this is going to be the be-all and end-all in my performance. When I first started in the triathlon world, I had budget bikes for a long time, and even still I don't spend big money on bikes now, but I had a Planet X time trial bike, and I loved overtaking people on expensive bikes. I'm kind of hoping the same thing happens with this. However, I know that probably isn't going to happen. You know, I like the idea of riding a cheap bike and doing better than those on expensive stuff, whilst also showing that you don't need to spend the earth if you want to just take part in an event is the idea. I don't think I've got much more to add about this bike. There isn't a great deal to say about it, or obviously I haven't like amended the spec in any way at all. I will just be riding it as it is like this. We're going to put a camera on the front of the bike, so stay tuned for some Xterra point of view content. And other than that, we're ready to rock and roll. I'm not scared, you're scared. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you very soon for some off-road extreme triathlon racing.